Lots of people woke up today revved, ready to go, excited to see what the DOJ was going to announce. They made an announcement yesterday or last evening that this morning there would be a big announcement, an announcement that involved national security or a matter of national security. Our president has ordered the Declass of everything. What does that mean? There's a lot more involved in that than I think people are realizing. And on the subject of this morning's announcement, was it a flop or was there a lot more to it that people are looking past in their desire to just say that we are all wrong? I'm digging into that. We're doing it right now. I'm Jared. This is RedRacer Video, formerly a car vlogger, now an independent citizen journalist. You all make that possible by visiting RedRacerVideo.com, link down below in the description, where you can find our unmasked hoodies, our unmasked t-shirts, free Kyle hoodies, free Kyle t-shirts, and lots of laser engraved mugs with all kinds of cool stuff on them. Very nice. Check them out. RedRacerVideo.com down below. Thanks to everybody who does that. There's also some places down below to the people who still just want to donate. You've asked for them. I left them up. Thank you to everybody who does that. And to anybody who has an issue with me doing a little advertisement at the beginning of my video to feed my family, I don't care. Every channel on this place either has commercials and or a combination of them pitching products. I pitch my own. You don't like it? Find a new channel. Here we go. All right, so like we talked about in the opener, the DOJ's announcement this morning, I think, got a lot of attention. And I, being somebody who's online a lot and putting myself out there a lot, I got a mixed reaction from people. I had people that wrote me and were pretty excited about what was announced and understood what it meant, I think. And then there was a lot of people that maybe were a little bit unsure or didn't know what it meant. But there was also that crowd of people who wanted to jump in and just say, oh, that was a big nothing burger. You guys all said that, you know, hell was going to break loose today and nothing happened. Okay. I'm not going to argue. I mean, to the people with that thought process, I understand. I know I won't convince you, so I'll let you think that way. But let's progress through the video. And I think that maybe some of these things will start to connect. Maybe. And if not, that's okay too. So there's a lot to get into in the way of information that's been let loose by way of our friend Plus. I'm no longer using the letter to describe them because we have all found out how quickly that gets you bounced off the internet these days. But we're going to go over some of the things that have been said recently. And we're going to start, again, piece some things together. So if you've been paying attention in the last couple days, our friend Plus has been very, very active. Lots of new information, lots of new drops, lots of things to go over. So we're going to kind of just circle around those. I don't normally do this a lot. I'm not normally a big decode guy. But the recent stuff has been insane. And you've probably all seen that our president has also been tweeting like crazy, posting on Parler like crazy. The YouTube channel for our president's been going crazy. Everyone is active. Paul Sperry has been insanely active on all his platforms. So we have all been active. There's a lot of reasons why. So getting back to the information, on January 15th, this is something that I think a lot of people have probably heard, but we're going to reiterate this for those that haven't. January 15th of 2020 was a very big day. There's some very big things that happened. 3 very big things selectively that we will talk about today that I think kind of start to make people wonder, like, is there a chance that all 3 of these things are coincidence? I don't think so, but you tell me. In the comments down below, let me know. And I know I failed this, guys. Please like the video. Please make sure you're still subscribed. Share this with your friends. I've never needed you more than I need you now. I lose subscribers every day. Somehow I lose them. I watch them go up and then all of a sudden they go down. And then I watch them go up and I watch them go down. And my views are like 10 to 15% what they used to be. So either I suck real bad or YouTube's messing with me. Either way, I need you. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. So January 15th, like I said before, I went off on a little tangent there on a sidetrack stoner thing. January 15th, the U.S.-China Phase 1 deal was completed. For those who don't remember, that was the big first deal where we have now a big trade deal with China where essentially they're not robbing the United States. They have to pay tariffs. There is fair trade. It's no longer them just bending us over and all of our politicians who used to be in letting it happen because they were all getting paid under the table. This is the United States standing up for themselves and wanting a fair trade deal. So on January 15th, Phase 1 of the China and U.S. trade deal was executed. That was not a good day for China. Bad day for China. Also on January 15th, the impeachment articles were released by Nancy Pelosi. And for those who don't know, hat tip to my good friend Obi-Wan, QAnon Obi-Wan, link in the description for his channel on YouTube. You guys probably already watch him. He brought up the fact that Pelosi did this illegally. That impeachment was not done legally, not done by the book. They held papers. They didn't do the things they were supposed to do, didn't follow the steps. And then they did this big dramatic walk down the hall of the Senate or of the House or whatever to deliver the papers. Made a big spectacle of it and made sure that every media outlet covered nothing but that day. They didn't really talk about the phase 1 China deal very much. The president did, but the media didn't. The media in the House were busy worrying about impeachment on that day. Also on that day, the first COVID-19 case landed from China in Seattle at the Tacoma, Washington airport. It says on here, attack versus president. So those are 3 things that were said. Think about those things. Just those things in my mind, no way on earth all 3 of those things happen on the same day. Next post from our friend Plus. How many people in D.C. does Clinton have dirt on? How many people in D.C. does Clinton have or had on the payroll? Dark secrets. Plus. So let's consider that for a second. How many people do we think the Clintons have dirt on? And that's just not like who do they have video of them doing terrible things, because I'm not going to get into that, because again, we want these videos to stick around. This is who do they know is corrupt? Who do they know maybe hasn't even just taken money from them, but who do they know? You know, that's that old saying on Starsky and Hutch, one of the funniest lines I've ever heard. They're asking a dude how he gets his Lincoln a year early, and he says, I know some people that know some people that rob some people. Same situation here. How many people do the Clintons know some people that know some people that rob some people? Essentially the entire Democratic Party. And a bunch of the Republicans that we know they own as well. But again, something to think about. Next post from our friend Plus. The Clinton Foundation. White House for sale. What's been happening to the Clinton Foundation? What has been, I don't know if anybody keeps track. I never did. But they used to get like $100 million a year in donations or something to that effect. And the last year that the Clinton Foundation got any donations, they got $25 million in that year. And they actually operated in the red that year. I think I got this information from Joe also. So thank you, Joe, if I did. They operated in the red that year because they showed, and this is again, they showed for tax purposes, they showed that they were operating at like $38 million of expenses that year. Again, all things that are not like hearsay, not conspiracy theory. These things are actual facts. So everybody out there, start getting on board, because the time to deny this stuff is just, it's rapidly deteriorating and evaporating. What happens if Biden became POTUS knowing through Hunter Biden, through his son, that they took massive amounts of bribes to look the other way to U.S. policy towards China, in favor of China? What would China own and control in the White House? So let's think about that for a second. What happens if Biden got in, knowing now that Biden is owned by China, knowing that Biden is being investigated by Ukraine right now, knowing that Biden has taken money off of all these other countries? I'm be careful about speculation here, because again, we want this video to live, and I might have just made that all up in my brain YouTube. I made that all up, actually. I lied. Guys, don't believe me. But what would have happened? What happens if Biden gets in? The same exact thing that would have happened if Hillary got in. The same thing. These people are all together. They're all in the same stuff. So this is just a re-attempt, or a re-attempt. I'm sure that's not the right word. This is another attempt at trying to get the same people in that they couldn't get in when President Trump won. What happens if, oh, sorry, I almost screwed up and read the same one. There's a lot of things, again, that happen, so I'm going to read one. I think this is the last one, and then we'll go on to a few more of my key points. But only the illusion of democracy, only the illusion of for the people. For the first time in a long time, our president stands with and for the people. All assets are deployed. So that ended with all assets deployed. Plus. So, folks, we've been saying this for a long time. We live in a grand illusion. We have lived in a grand illusion for a long time. They have been tricking us into thinking we have had a say for a long time. We can see by the day how many things they have done to keep us stupid, to manipulate us, to stay in power, the things that they've done. And again, we won't divulge into those things, because if I do these videos, magically disappear, get demonetized, and or they just cap them at like 7,000 views, which is the amount of views I got when I had 5,000 viewers. But I'm sure that's just coincidence, right, YouTube? Okay, so I want to talk about something here that to go backwards just a couple of videos and touch on something very small, something that I've noticed, something I'm also seeing as a trend across the country, nationwide, not just online. Well, probably just online because that's where I spend most of my time, let's be honest. But this is something that I've noticed in relationships in my home with my children, in relationships out of my home with people outside of my home. And this goes for a wide group of people, and I'm sure that some people have also seen this. Our country lives in what is arguably the most trying times it has ever seen. We are all under a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. And as I watch the media on a daily basis, and as I watch other politicians on a daily basis, and Joy Behar, that idiot, and people like her try to discredit our president on a daily basis, make fun of him because he walked up the steps after just having something that's killed people, it baffles me to see how many people are tripping over themselves to just be mean, to just be negative, to just be dirty. Joy Behar, we know, is because she's going down, her life's over and she's screwed. But for a lot of people, there's a lot of like-minded people that think the way I think, are involved in the things that I'm involved in, and things are just tense. Do not forget we are being tested right now. We are absolutely being tested. If we've ever been tested by the devil, it is happening right now. It is good versus evil. Do not lose track of that. And remember that if someone is on your side and they're on the side of good, whether they're on the side of good on one degree or good on another degree, if you don't see 100% eye to eye with people right now, try to remember you are on the same team. We've all got to stick together. United we stand and divided we will fall. Right now, we need us. We need you guys. The Declass of everything is coming. Our president has told us, has tweeted now, and posted it everywhere. He has ordered the unredacted declassification, the complete declassification of both the Hillary email scandals and the entire scandal of what happened with his entire campaign being spied on, and all the people around him and a lot of other Americans being spied on. This stuff that has been, conspiracy theory for 3 years that we've all been made fun of, that they're now censoring us on the internet for, and trying to delete us off of the internet for saying. Somehow these things that are false facts or lies that they keep fact-checking us with keep holding up and keep showing true. And the more they declassify it, the more obvious it all becomes. And yet, there are still countless people out there feverishly humiliating themselves to defend the Democrats, the left, the liberals. There are still people that just have to hate Donald Trump. They don't even know why. They just gotta hate him. They've gotta hate him. Help me understand that. Help me understand how that works. Go look at the states right now that are failing miserably. To go back to what happens if Hillary won or what happens if Biden won, we know. We know exactly what happens. Go look at the Democratic states in our country that are failing miserably. There's like 10 states that are just bankrupt, losing money, hand over fist, screwed, people bailing from their states. Their cities are being overrun with crime. Their cities are being burned to the ground. People are being killed in the street, men, women, and children. You're going to tell me it's just another coincidence that all these states are Democratic states, right? To the people who still think that all the people out there are going to walk from all this, that Hillary, that Obama, that Brennan, Comey, James, Clapper, all the people that are involved in it, all the people in the media that are involved in it, all the people in Hollywood that are involved in it, all the people in sports that are involved in it. If you haven't seen enough information, and I'm not talking about my channel because I haven't done this long enough to take people from like, I don't believe it, to they're all the way on board with believing all this stuff went on. But there's a lot of channels out there like X22 and some of the channels out there that really go down the truth whole hard. Joe, QAnon, Obi-Wan. Some channels have really been pushing the real information for a long time. To the people who have not seen the "you're all liars" transform into like, oh man, some of that stuff's actually happening, to, oh man, now that's all being declassified, to now That a president's ordering things be completely declassified and somehow the papers that are coming out of the FBI in some of these places are still redacted? Folks, look at what's happening. He is screaming loud and clear on the internet, I want them all the way declassified. Not just because he's trying to threaten and scare people, and that's part of it. He wants people out there to see he's already ordered this. We've already got this. Ratcliffe's already been trying to get this stuff for a long time, and that's why a lot of people hate Ray. They keep serving up redaction after redaction. Getting into what the DOJ announced today, everybody thought it was going to be something big like Hillary's going to jail, right? I didn't. I knew it was going to be something that we were going to have to read between the lines on a little bit. I was hoping it'd be, I mean, on its surface value, a little more climatic or a little more exciting, I guess is the word, than what we heard today. But when you really start to look at it, what happened today was big. Christopher Wray, everybody hates, but some things that got announced today kind of have to make you consider the fact that maybe Christopher Wray is not the dude that we think he is. I'm not saying I like him. I'm not. Make no mistake about it. I'm not saying we should love the dude. I'm just saying I'm not convinced I should hate him. So the DOJ came on today and announced that they made indictments or arrests of two big-name ISIS leader dudes that were part of some very big and bad operations. I think they were directly responsible for the death of 4 Americans. And they also announced that they're not going to be pursuing the death penalty. I don't understand all that part of it, to be honest with you all, but I know that a lot of people immediately just started breaking their fingers to bang on the keyboards and say that this was a nothing burger, but I don't see it that way. I didn't see it that way the minute I watched this video, and as I've gone through my day and watched my normal channels and gone through my typical avenues of information and gotten my read on things from the people that I typically trust, it's only confirmed to me what I'm about to tell you all. Let's not lose focus of the fact that we have been told by our friend Plus that it's going to be pain. There's got to be a lot of pain, and it's going to be drip, 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 and it's just going to keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. And that's what's been happening this whole time, and today is just another drip. They didn't bring the entire country together to make the announcements of these arrests or indictments for no reason. Let's not lose track of who ISIS is or what ISIS is, how it started. Barack Obama made the announcement that he was training and funding and or training ISIL forces. There's just a lot that I'm going to leave out here because, again, I'm trying to be careful because I do need these videos to stay monetized and or get views. If you look at who ISIS is going to lead to, who the arrest of these 2 people is going to lead to, they also announced that they're not, and the more I think about this, I don't know how I didn't catch this before. If they're announcing they're not pursuing the death penalty, maybe they've already made a deal with these guys. You don't get the death penalty, you give up all these people. But they made it clear to the world that they have these 2 ISIS people. To anyone who's been doing their homework, we know who funded ISIS, who has pictures of them with ISIS, and who died / was executed and had a wrinkled flag over their coffin. Do your homework on that. If they have ISIS people, they have them alive, and they've got them in custody, and they're making the announcement. Mark my words. Those arrests, those indictments, everything that happens there will lead exactly where we need it to lead. One more time, to everybody out there that thinks that all the bad guys walk, you are a perfect illustration of how brainwashed, how accepting of corruption in our government, and or how hopeless some Americans have become in our country. I understand this has been a long road. I understand that for some people out there that have been watching this for like 2, 3, 4, 5 months, you're like, oh man, this is going to happen. You've been saying this forever. There are people that have been down this rabbit hole for 3 years. There are people been going down this rabbit hole for 25 years. There are people that saw all this stuff happening that have been involved in politics and actually paid attention and not listened to media for decades. I know because they write me emails consistently and tell me about them. It's everybody who writes me messages and notes and, again, donates and helps and buys shirts and does all those things. I want so badly to get back to all of you individually and tell you how much I love you and love your stories and how much they motivate me. Please accept this as that. You all drive me so flipping much. I do get hopeless at times. I do get really, really downtrodden. There are times where I've got to just drop this stuff, walk away to not lose my mind. There are times where my friends and I, the information causes grief. It happens in families. I've got good friends that message me and say, man, I'm fighting with my significant other, or I'm in a fight with my mother, or I've got my sister coming at me, or just whatever it is. I get it. I understand. Do not give up. Keep going. To everybody that tells me you motivated me, or you helped me through a conversation, or whatever it is, do not lose hope, and do not even begin to understand or misunderstand or lose track of, lose focus of how important each and every single one of us is to this movement. One leads to another, leads to another. You have no idea how many people look up to you. How many people behind the scenes are watching you and keeping track of what you're doing and just don't say anything. I found this out because of this YouTube channel. I get letters on a daily basis that they're from people I just never would have expected it from. Some of them have even been from people I know in my life that have been really hard on me at times over all this stuff and are now coming around going, I don't know how I didn't see it, but thank you for your courage. So one more time, to anybody out there still pushing, thank you. You mean as much to this as I do. Your messages, your inspiration means the world, but understand you are that same person. You have that same power that I do. I'm just getting on the camera and doing it. It's the only difference. To anybody who's downtrodden, to anybody who is hopeless, to anybody who's in that position I talked to you about where you're just convinced nothing's going to happen. We call it the black pill. To those of you who have taken the black pill and you're convinced nothing's going to go on, the Declass of everything, our president calling Hillary by name out on a daily basis, calling Obama out by name on a daily basis, Biden, call me Brennan, all of them. To anyone who really believes in their mind that nothing's going to happen with all that all these people walk, you're just defeated. You're just downtrodden. I understand. But this is my message to you. To those people, I say this. Take the rest that you need. Sometimes, like I said, that's me. So I'm not taking shots at you. Do not mistake this. Take the rest that you need. We, collective we, the people in this movement, will not stop fighting for you. But when you realize how critical you are to our success, and this goes back to what I said just a minute ago, we all mean just as much as the next person. When you realize how critical you are to all of our success, you must re-engage. Please. It is not too late. We are a month away-ish from the most important election in the history of our planet, in the history of mankind. I am not getting involved in hyperbole. I'm not just trying to make this a big thing, to define hyperbole kind of for the people who don't know what that means. It's that serious. It's time to engage. And if you, like I said, if you need a break, take it, but get right back in it. One more time, RedRacerVideo.com. Please, guys, help me out. If you're going to get cold, if you live in a place that's cooling out, it's that time. Hoodies available. I've got more coming. My black ones are almost gone, but I've got more coming. Lots of stuff on the site. Lots of tumblers, like I said, that are available. Laser engraved, very nice. You guys are going to love my new ones. I thought I would have to show you today, but I didn't get to the post office. So thank you, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Where we go, when we go all. Do not lose focus. Stay strong. We'll see you on the next one.